Hey creative people, it's Carrie here from KRLC Studio. I'm really super excited to be introducing a new series called How to Create Tutorial Videos for Creative Journalists. And in this series, we're going to be covering the equipment and materials, the setting up, recording, editing, and everything else in between. So let's get started. Just a little disclaimer before we start. I am not a professional videographer, and so I have seen many different tutorial videos out there. And so I've done my research and have figured out what works for them and especially what works for me. I'm creating this series because when I started out, there weren't any video tutorials out there how to do tutorials. So I wanted to do this as a valuable service to you. Please take my tips and tricks and advice in any way that works for you. Let's get to it. So the first thing that you need is a camera. Obviously, the camera on your cell phone. I use my cell phone. I use a Samsung Galaxy S21 5G, and that's the latest and greatest. But if you have an iPhone 12, that works just as well. And the cell phone cameras these days are really good. So I would just use your cell phone. Just make sure that when you get a cell phone that you have at least the minimum of 10 gigabytes. My cell phone has 128 gigabytes. And what that means is that it's storage or RAM. So the more gigabytes that your phone has, the more storage, which means is that if you have more storage, you can record for a longer period of time. So because my phone has 128 gigabytes of storage or RAM, that I can be on my phone for a long time. And you don't have to keep on stopping your phone every 10 minutes like my old phone. So just make sure you have enough storage as well. Another option would be getting a DSLR camera. And what that means is it's basically a digital camera. And you don't want anything less than 1080 resolution on your camera. I don't think there's too many cameras these days that have anything less than 1080, but just make sure. You also want to make sure that it has 4K at 30 to 60 frames per second. I don't know what all that big technical jargon is, but I just know that 4K is a really good high quality that a lot of YouTube videos are now using these days. So you want to make sure that you have a really good top camera. My suggestion, this is a little bit more of an expensive option, but my suggestion if you want to go this route is to wait till Black Friday and maybe you can get a good deal on Amazon or maybe your local electronics store, and they could have a really awesome sale during that time. But your cell phone is definitely the cheaper option for filming. So equipment, this is what you will need. You may need a hanger. This is just a plastic hanger. You may need it or you may need it not, but I will show you how to use the plastic hanger in our setup in our next video. So you might need to have that. You also may need a selfie stick. You will need a tripod. There's many different kinds that you can find on Amazon. The nice thing about desk tripods is that it comes with this attachment already part of it or in the kit that it comes in, and this is for your phone. For me, how I use it, I actually have two of these because I use one for my overhead, and this one I particularly use for when I do my face videos and I'm filming my face. Next, you will need a microphone. So I use this microphone. That's the microphone that I use. I bought it on Amazon, and all of these you can find on Amazon. I just found that this was the cheapest. I believe that it was maybe $25, $23, something like that. Just to be very aware as well is that I live in Canada, and so Amazon, when I purchase things on Amazon, they're more expensive than they are in the States. So all of this supplies will probably, I'm guessing, will be a lot cheaper in the States. So if you live in the States and you don't have this equipment, trust me, it's going to be cheaper for you than if you live in Canada. But you can work around that in Canada. This microphone is really a good microphone. You don't need an expensive microphone. Some people think that you need a lapel microphone. That is a complete option. The lapel microphone you just can clip onto your shirt. Because my speaker on my phone is a really good speaker, I don't use a microphone per se when I'm doing my videos. I only use my speaker here when I do my voiceovers, and I'll explain a little bit later of what a voiceover is, but That's the only reason I have a microphone, not necessarily to record my videos. I do know that there are problems with people who speak very softly. I'll also be going through that. There is a way around that. If you don't have a microphone, or if you don't even have a lapel microphone, there is always a way around that. You need this cord, and making sure that it has two different attachments. So this end attaches to my phone, and then that end attaches to a USB port, which I already have plugged into my computer. I could plug it into my computer, this directly into my computer, but all of my ports are full up. So I just use this as more of a portable port. I use this cord so that I can take the videos on my phone and put them on my computer so that I can edit them. Let's talk about lighting. Now, the lighting that I use, I'm not going to get into the apparatus that I use too much because that's in our next video of setup. But what I use is Christmas lights, and these are outdoor Christmas lights that I have. And even if you don't have a setup like mine, you can still use it. Use Christmas lights. These are, I believe, LED, Christmas white lights, and they're very bright, which is what I wanted and needed. You can put them all around the edge of your desk. Okay, so you don't need an apparatus like this to use Christmas lights. Also, I find that having natural light is the best source of light that you can possibly have. Now, I do have a window, and when I record, I make sure that my blind is open, as it is now. But when I'm working and when I'm recording on my desk, I find that this area is a little bit dark. So that's why I love using my Christmas lights. I just turn those on. You do not need to buy like really expensive lighting. You just don't. Anything that works to light up your space. However, I do suggest that that the lighting is LED, that it is a natural light or a natural bulb. Don't get the yellow bulb or the orange bulbs. Make sure it's natural light and that your desk is well lit up, especially around the edge of your desk where you're actually going to be creating and doing your work or your tutorials. You will need a computer or a laptop. I have this. It's my desktop computer. And so if you don't have a desktop, a laptop works just as well. You will also need some editing software. My editing software I use is called Shotcut. Click on that. Shotcut is a free editing software. You just download it and it will do up your videos really well for you. I'll be showing you this more in detail when we do our editing, but you will need an editing software. And something else that I have found that really helps me in my filming is using the app called Open Camera. And I'm going to leave the link to that tutorial below. And Jason Brown from Primal Video really does an excellent job at showing you how to use this app when you're filming. And that's it. That's all you need. You'll need a camera and a cell phone. You'll need good lighting, and natural is the best. You'll need a microphone. You'll need a USB cord, one that configures to your phone. You'll need a computer or a laptop. You'll need a desk tripod. You'll also need some video editing software, and I will show you when we get to the editing part of our series of how you can do that online. And if you want, you also need the Open Camera app, which you can just download on your phone. I'm also going to leave the link tutorial in my description below, and this tutorial shows you how to use Open Camera, and it really is valuable when you're recording. You may also need some heavy books or a cement block or a tall skinny box, and I'm going to show you how to use those in our next video setting up. I'm really excited to be creating this series with you, and I do hope that I bring value to you and helping you to make better tutorials. Our next video is setting up, so until then, a little bit of what you fancy does you good.